What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? We're going to start it off with some recruiting talk. West Virginia, like I said, slew of success lately. The 2025 class continues to grow. We got to talk a little bit about that here now. So first up, Monheim Quesenberry committed to the Mountaineers a few days ago. And this is a guy from Neil Brown's hometown, actually Neil Brown's high school there, Boyle County in Danville, Kentucky. You see the size there, 5'9", 160. So we're talking, slot receiver, but great speed, 4.5, sub 4.5, 40. One of the top players in the state of Kentucky. Spurns, Kentucky, chooses WVU, coming to play for the Mountaineers. As you see there, number 7 player in Kentucky, number 5 in the composite score there from 247. Also, a top 125 receiver in the country. And when he was at camps, he really just showed great route running ability, the ability to get open. I think he's going to be prototypical slot receiver that you can really count on down the line. So I'm excited about this commitment. I know it's only a 3-star, but it still is one of my favorite ones that we've picked up yet in this class. As you can see here, several offers from other programs. Like I said, beat out Kentucky, beat out Louisville, decides on West Virginia. West Virginia lands a player from Neil Brown's hometown there in Monheim Quesenberry. So let's take a look now at some of his highlights as well. Live react to some of these highlights of these commits as we get to them. Next up is Quesenberry here. Or I guess first up, rather. Let's see what we got. There you see the speed on showcase already. And then, of course, tipping the ball and grabbing it off the tip. And then, of course, the speed to break away and score the touchdown. That's what we're talking about with him, is the quick twitch ability. We're talking about the speed. He can make you miss. And like I said, he does really great job of getting open as well with the great route running ability. And here's some special teams work. We love to see this. We know West Virginia is in need of kick returners in the future. This could be a guy that is, in contest for that spot when he gets to campus here in another year or so. But there you see it again, and outrunning everyone there. Even the ones with the angle can't catch him as he runs back that kickoff for the touchdown there. One more play here from Quesenberry we can check out. Right here he is on defense this time, going up high, pointing the football and making a great grab. So you can see the athleticism there on both sides of the ball there, both on offense and on defense. So Monheim Quesenberry committed to the Mountaineers. And then we had Chris Falippo. He actually had previously been committed to James Madison, if I'm not mistaken, but flips to West Virginia. West Virginia doing a good job flipping some of these prospects, in recent classes. This past class, they did that with Day Farmer, who's a receiver they're already raving about. But Chris Falippo, I think he's prototypical fit for the spear position at WVU. You see him listed as a linebacker. Some places list him as a safety, but I think he's looking at someone that's probably going to play that spear here at WVU, and it's a good pickup here. 3-star rating, top 120 player in the state of Pennsylvania, another borderline state. We know West Virginia's done a great job not only locking down West Virginia, but doing a great job in those borderline states as well. And he's one of the top 30 players in the state of Pennsylvania there. 87 rating, that's a high-rated 3-star there, as you can see. Picking West Virginia over some other schools. Like I said, James Madison, he previously announced a commitment there, switches to WVU. But let's take a look at some of his highlights now as well from his junior season here. And let's take a look. Sub 4.5 40, so that's impressive as well, that he has that type of speed and could really be a beneficial for him, playing that spear position, which I see him projecting to at WVU as we get into a couple of his highlights here. Live reacts those. There you see him on the back end of the defense. Here he comes screaming down, an absolute prototypical tackle right there. Wraps up, drives into the ground. That's what you like to see. Here he is playing the deep safety yet again. Look at the closing speed there. That play gains maybe a yard, and he's coming all the way from the back end on a sweep play and making that tackle. Same thing here. Another sweep, and he gets there, before the running back can even get, halfway to the first down marker. Drives him back and rips the football out. Here he is on offense, of course, playing both ways as you do in high school. You can see a little bit of his athleticism there, though, after he catches the pass, and you see that sub 4.5 speed that they're talking about that's really going to help him, I think, play in that spear position for WVU. And one more highlight here on the defensive side. They set up a tunnel screen. He reads it perfectly, diagnoses it, not only makes a tackle, but yet again forces a fumble. So I'm really excited about Chris Falippo. As you see from some of the highlights there, you can see why. He definitely, may not have the offer list of some of these other commits, but I think that's one of those diamond in the roughs that West Virginia probably has found now. And then next up, we had Michael Hasty, linebacker commit for the 2025 class as well. This one I think fits more as, previously known as the bandit, now the spur position. I think he's a good fit coming out of Georgia. West Virginia, getting the last couple commitments they got from Georgia, this one here in the 2025 class. Then we'll talk about that 2026 commit here momentarily, and it's a big one, a very highly rated quarterback. But first, we got to talk about Michael Hasty. Like I said, I think he'll fit as a Spur / Bandit, like they're called Spurs now. But listed as an edge here, 6'3", 230, so great size already coming in. Another 3-star prospect with an 86 grade, so that's a high-end 3-star there. Top 120 player in the state of Georgia, top 90 edge in the country. So, another highly regarded prospect West Virginia is able to land in this class, picking West Virginia over some other schools as you see there. Let's take a look at some of his highlights now, and then we can get to the 2026 commit momentarily. But first, let's take a look at some of the junior season highlights of Michael Hasty. I believe he played running back in high school as well, or plays running back in high school as well. If I can get the video to play here. Yep, there he is. This is the linebacker highlight for him, of course, which is what we kind of want to see because that's where he's going to be at for WVU there. You see him coming in there, breaking that pass up, tipping it to himself, and making the interception. And, of course, knows what to do with it, takes it completely the other way. 4-6 there. Good play by Michael Hasty. Great ball skills, makes a play on the ball, tips it to himself, and then shows the athleticism, the ability to turn that into a scoring play. Here he is again, lined up at the linebacker spot, matched up in pass coverage. Reads the quarterback's eyes, makes the play again. There you go, 2 interceptions, to start off the highlight package for Michael Hasty. And both of those interceptions, he takes all the way back as well. So showcases the fact that he's a running back in high school with some of those, highlight speed and highlight athleticism to be able to score touchdowns on those plays. Here he is again, the linebacker position, this time diagnosing the run and making an absolute prototypical tackle. Wraps up, drives the running back into the ground. And just for good measure, let's take a look at his highlight on offense here to wrap up his little highlight package. Like I said, you can find these on Huddle if you'd like to watch the whole thing. But there you see some of the size and strength on display as well. No one's going to tackle Michael Hasty as he gets into the end zone from the running back position there. So a good pickup for WVU yet again in the 2025 class, which brings me to our recruiting tracker here on the CRW. Those were the 3 latest commits that West Virginia picked up in this 2025 class. So this class nearing its completion now. West Virginia well on its way. What are we, about 5-6 months away from signing day. West Virginia hopefully can sign all of these prospects because if they can, they have a really good class in tow here with these 3 recent additions. Of course, I've got videos out on each one of these commitments. You can find it in the recruiting playlist here on the channel. But as you see here, that's the list with the most 3 recent additions, the ones we just talked about. Monheim Quesenberry, Chris Falippo, and Michael Hasty joining the class. But they weren't the only ones. West Virginia even dipped into that 2026 class, got a huge commitment from a quarterback that is one of the highest rated quarterbacks West Virginia has ever secured a commitment from. So this is no small feat. We're talking enough about them absolutely killing it on the recruiting trail with this 2025 class, but now even in 2026 they have 2 commitments in tow, and both of them I think very talented, especially this most recent one. So we got to talk about him. Let's talk about Brody McCarter, the quarterback West Virginia just landed in this 2026 class. 4-star player on the 247 composite site, nearly 90 rating, top 20 quarterback in the country, one of the top 30 players in the state of Georgia entirely. We know how talented the state of Georgia is. Also, if you look on Rivals, he's a Rivals 250 recruit. I think he's 137 there. He is the highest rated quarterback West Virginia's landed on Rivals. We're using 247 Sports here for this. That's the one I usually like to use, but you can look on either site and see he's highly regarded no matter how you spin it. And a absolutely killer offer list. Like we said, choosing West Virginia over some big programs. If we hit view complete team list here and pull it up, you can see Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Louisville, Michigan State, NC State, Nebraska, Ohio State, Oregon, on down the list there, Virginia Tech, Clemson, Alabama. All of these programs are after Brody McCarter, but he decides and lands on WVU there. So having said that, now let's take a look at some of his highlights. Like I said, haven't watched these yet, so it's a live reaction with you guys. But let's take a look at Brody McCarter and see how he stands out here with some of his sophomore season highlights. Obviously, this is his 2026 commit, so he's in his about to be going into his junior season now. So these are only his sophomore season highlights, so got to keep that in mind as well. But the fact that he's that highly regarded already is no small feat. So let's take a look here at Brody McCarter. All right, here we see a nice drop back, little shoulder fake, and then a deep ball right there on the money in the back of the end zone. That's a pretty deep ball that he threw there. See him get out on the rollout here. thrown against his body and puts it in the perfect position in the front of the end zone for his man to make a play. That's impressive. And this is what we like to see as well, some running highlights for Brody McCarter. Of course, we know West Virginia loves the dual threat quarterbacks. They're going to continue to recruit those dual threat quarterbacks, and Brody McCarter looks like he'll be able to make some plays with his feet as well when he gets onto campus. There's another beautifully placed deep ball. And then here he is again, fakes the jet sweep, finds the hole, and gets into the end zone. Loving what I'm seeing from Brody McCarter here. I think that he's got a chance to be a really star player here at WVU, and West Virginia is absolutely loaded in the quarterback room for the next few years. You're talking Nico Marchiol, you're talking Ryder Burton, you're talking Khalil Wilkins, and now Brody McCarter, who's more highly regarded than any of those other ones that we already have been, very impressed with and we are big fans of. There he goes, beating the defender to the end zone with the angle. You see a little bit of the speed as well. It's not just the arm talent. He also has great athleticism right there. Fits that one into a tight window on the run. Let's take a look at one more play here. Pocket breaks down. He gets out, rolls out, finds a man in the back of the end zone in another tight window there. So I'm really excited about Brody McCarter, guys. I know you guys probably are as well. Huge pickup for WVU here, very highly regarded. With that, let's take a look now at the 2026 recruiting tracker here on the CRW. And we do have a couple of pickups here thus far. We've got a video out on Davion Taylor that came out right after the spring game. He committed at the spring game, actually. He is in the class as a linebacker out of Pennsylvania. And then, of course, now Brody McCarter joins him there as a quarterback out of the state of Georgia and the highest rated commit in that 2026 class thus far. That's really made the class rankings shoot up for West Virginia. Let me show you a little bit about what I'm talking about here for the 2026 class, and of course how much they've been killing it on the 2025 class as well. Keenan Cummings put out this tweet yesterday following the commitment of Brody McCarter. The current 2025 WVU recruiting class is 19th nationally, so in the top 20 in the upcoming class. But then just off the commitment of Brody McCarter alone, joining Davion Taylor, the 2026 class is already rated number 13 in the nation with only 2 commits. So that shows you how highly regarded that Brody McCarter is as Rivals has West Virginia ranked in the top 15 in the 2026 class and in the top 20 with this upcoming 2025 class. So excellent job by West Virginia here on the recruiting trail thus far. Wanted to come on here and talk about that for sure. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.